People versus VanCallis.
Ready, Your Honor. For the record, Your Honor, William Cataldo and Bill Daly appearing on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. May it please the Court, Azar Sheikh here on behalf of the defendant, James VanCallis, who stands to my immediate right. We are ready to proceed.
So we've been provided with a pre-sentence report. Is there anything in this report that we need to address as being factually inconsistent?
Your Honor, it is a 27-page report, and I went over it in detail with my client. We have no additions, deletions, or modifications. We understand that the recommendations are what they are based on statutory guidelines. I did go over it with you at length. Correct? The pre-sentence investigation report, Mr. VanCallis?
That's correct, Your Honor. I have reviewed the report, Your Honor, on behalf of the people. There are no additions, deletions, or corrections to make to the report.
And is there any corrections that need to be made to the scoring guidelines?
Not on behalf of the people.
None on behalf of the defense, Your Honor.
And Mr. Cataldo, how do you want to proceed?
At this time, Your Honor, Jennifer Millsap would like to make a statement to this court on behalf of the people.
Just step back.
Step back. Would you wish her to say at the podium?
Wherever she feels comfortable.
Good morning. Hi, I'm Nomad, so
Take a deep breath.
okay. James, I don't know why you did what you did, but my question to you is why? What did they perpetrate to you? For you to be so brutal with her? Do you even know her? Well, what was your plan for her that night? Why did you have to hurt her? Just because she ignored your advances? Did she deserve to die? What made you so darn special? I hope you can never sleep without dreams tormenting you. I hope you can't ever eat because you have no appetite. I hope the rain pierces you like bullets. I hope the sun burns you like fire burns skin. I hope the four walls close in on you and choke you. I hope those steel bars are your only friends. I hope when you close your eyes, you see only April over and over and over again. You will die behind those bars, alone. I hope that the inmates know exactly what you did, because I hear their punishment can be very ugly. I hope they save all their rage and anger just for you. You, James, are a damn thief. You stole my beautiful daughter's life, and you stole the rest of mine. April was a beautiful, kind, giving, and loving young lady. She was loved by all that knew her and all those that she touched. She was beautiful both on the inside as well as the outside. You stole her future and all that she had to give from her and the rest of this world. April would have started high school in the fall, and she was so very much looking forward to that. She was excited as well as I was for all the opportunities that were ahead of her. She was looking forward to being more independent than she already was. You denied her the opportunity to graduate high school and to move on to college and to grow and to develop a career of her choice. She wasn't sure what she wanted to do for a career, but she was only 14, and she was only 14, and that is what high school was all about. She loved animals, nature, and reflection. She wrote poems, short stories as a way to enhance her creativity. April was a good student. She enjoyed her studies and learning all about the aspects of our world. She enjoyed learning German. One day, she thought she could further develop her language skills overseas. She loved dressing up nicely and taking care of herself. When she believed in something, she started up for that issue or person. I was very proud of her. She was my world, and I loved her, and I will miss her greatly. April loved spending time walking, caring for her dog. She was very shy, but yet she had close friends she could count on. Friends that she trusted. She trusted her boyfriend, Austin. Although they were very young, they cared for each other very much. I was in awe how much Austin really was devoted to April and how much he was there for her. And April encouraged Austin to be the best that he could be. April tended to bring out the best in everyone that came into her life. You stole April's chance to experience being a wife, a mother. She would have been a great mother too. She loved and cared for all her younger cousins, from babies all the way up to preteens. And she had so much patience with them. April wasn't a very deeply religious person, but she did believe in God. She loved working with the children of our church and the youth group. She was great with them. She would have made a great teacher or a counselor. You also stole from my family and me. You took from us the joy of seeing her grow and mature into a wonderful young woman. As she was a child. I will never get to see her graduate both high school and college. I will never see her get married and have children of her own, if that was what she chose. My life totally changed since April was killed. I have periods of depression and anxiety. I hold a lot just to keep moving every day. My life will never be the same. I will always miss April and will continue to hold her in my heart. I had never thought this could happen to my daughter or to me. I know that the Bible tells us that we are supposed to forgive those who wrong us, but what you took from us is unforgivable. You have a lot of people to apologize to. Don't expect anyone to accept it because you don't have the ability to turn back time and to take this back. I pity you, and I hate you, and I can never forgive you. Thank you.
No one else to speak on behalf of family.
What would you like to say on behalf of the client?
Your Honor, I believe he's going to speak for himself, if he may.
You have nothing to say on behalf of the client?
He's just planning on pursuing all his appellate rights, and given the statutory obligations on you to sentence him to mandatory life, I don't think it would make any sense for me to say anything. Thank you for the opportunity.
What would you like to say, Mr. VanCallis?
Am I given permission to speak, Your Honor?
Speak to me, not to the microphone.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, first off, is that there is no evidence that shows that I have done anything wrong. There is nobody that can say they've seen me commit any crime on July 24th, 2014. There is nobody that can ID or has ID'd my motorcycle as being on that trail that day. None of the witnesses could positively identify me. They said that they seen eyes, which is, if that's the case, how many people have eyes that are that shape? Nobody said that they seen a color of eyes. Nobody positively ID'd my motorcycle helmet as being the helmet that they seen that day. Nobody sat there and ID'd the clothing that I was wearing to exact. Nobody ID'd the shoes that I was wearing to exact on that day. This is a sad chain of events that somehow I'm wrapped up in. I don't know how to have the Millsap family understand that I don't know her. I've never met her. I'd never seen her before.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Sir, who is this?
Charlie Langton.
Thank you. Go ahead.
The discovery that I've got in this case was coming in sporadically, and I asked my honor to have the prosecution give us a hard copy in this. You asked him if he understood in pretrial conferences. He agreed that he understood and that he would do it by that week's end. 5 weeks later, he did not give it to me. He said that under law he did not only provide a way to give it to us, not to actually give us a hard copy. When we finally did get the actual crime scene photos that were alleged to be child pornography, they showed a completely different scenario with completely different clothes, with completely different disarray that was not consistent with the original discovery that we got. I tried addressing this to the court, and my honor told me that I am not to address this court, I am to speak through my attorney. I addressed it to my attorney. My attorney did not address it to you. I'm asking you to ask my attorney to state on the record that these are actual and factual things that I'm speaking, that the discovery that we got was not the exact same discovery that we were later given, to where it shows two different bodies and two different types of clothing. That one is consistent with what the eyewitness that found the body said that she was wearing, which a couple other witnesses said that they seen her on the trail wearing, which was the top that was either a white or a pinkish colored top. And what they showed in discovery was a completely different colored top that was with, the body was without a bra. And the later photos that we got that you allowed us to have, that they alleged to be child pornography photos, actually showed where the victim or the decedent was wearing a bra and her top was lifted, versus the discovery that they gave us to where the top was pulled down to the waist and it was a different color top with no bra on. During final closing arguments, Bill Catalda here, the prosecutor, showed the fact finders, the panel, my fact finders, the photo. He wheeled it in front of them and said that the top was down, the bra was off to the side, but that's not consistent with the crime scene photos that he asked for. You said, would they help defend your client? He said yes. You allowed them. They gave them. It's not consistent. There's a fraud that's been perpetuated in this case by whoever put the case together to put it on that hard drive. My attorney has witnessed it. I have brought it up to my attorney several times. He could testify right here, right now, if you were to ask him if what I'm saying is the truth.
The reality is we're here to sentence you today.
I understand that, Your
Not
Honor,
here-
but...
Please, I didn't interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Thank you. The reality is we're here to sentence you. Anything you want to say regarding an appeal, you can do that as soon as you're done with me.
I'm just asking for a motion for trial de novo on the grounds that...
Not the appropriate time.
Uh,
I'd like to proceed with my reality of having to sentence you today.
could I finish then? what I have to say.
Not if you're going to argue appellate issues, no.
No, I'm not gonna-
They set for sentencing, not to retry the case.
I'm not retrying the case, Your Honor. I'm just trying to make it clear to the record that I wasn't able properly to defend myself in this
You
case.
can tell that to the appellate court.
All right, well then I'll finish with what I have to say here then. Your Honor, before you impose sentence, I formally request that you specify to me on the record exactly what statute or statutes authorize you to impose the sentence you are imposing at this time. Furthermore, if you plan on imposing any sentencing conditions upon me to go along with the sentence, I formally request that you specify to me on the record exactly the statute or statutes authorizing you to impose such sentencing conditions upon me at this time. I am aware that all judges must comply with enhanced legislate when imposing sentencing upon convicted defendants. Therefore, all sentences and sentencing conditions imposed within the state of Michigan must possess statutory authorization to be legal. I am also aware that I have a constitutional right to due process of law, which is guaranteed by the 5th and 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution. As a result, I have the constitutional right to be provided with due notice of what statutes you are imposing my sentence under, and I again formally request that you specify to me on the record exactly what statute or statutes you receive your authorization from, and I further request that you specify such statute or statutes by their proper
Codified citation.
Codified citation to prevent any confusion concerning your judicial intent. I also demand a new trial. I reserve all my rights under the United States Commercial Code 1-308. All rights reserved.
Policy of the State of Michigan favors individualized sentencing for every convicted defendant. The sentence must be tailored to the particular circumstances of the case and the defendant. The tailoring of the sentence to the defendant, the court has gathered complete detailed information about the defendant. Court is satisfied with the reliability of the information received, satisfied that it is reasonably up to date, has determined its competence, sense of consideration, and has resolved any challenges as to its accuracy in favor of the defendant. The charge. You were found, let's first start off, guilty of the following charges by a jury of your peers on February 8th of 2016. First-degree felony murder, kidnapping, criminal sexual conduct, assault with intent to commit sexual penetration. Specifically, for your request, the statute citation for homicide is 750.316. MCL 750.316. The statute for felony murder is MCL 753.161B. The statute for kidnapping is MCL 750.379. And the statute for criminal sexual conduct, assault with intent to commit sexual penetration is MCL 750.520G1. And those are your statutory authorities upon which you were convicted. I, by law, am empowered with the ability to render today for you a sentence in accordance with law. As to the charge of first-degree murder, it is the sense of the court that you serve life in prison with no chance of parole, and that would be count 1. As to count 2, felony murder, it is the sentence of the court that you serve life in the Michigan Department of Corrections with no chance of parole. With respect to count 3, kidnapping, it is the sentence of the court that you serve 225 months to 480 months in the custody of the Michigan Department of Corrections. With respect to the charge of criminal sexual conduct, assault with intent to commit sexual penetration, it is the sentence of the court that you serve 80 months to 120 months in the custody of the Michigan Department of Corrections. With respect to the sexual assault charge, the further sentence of the court that you must register as required by the Michigan Sex Offender Registration Act to comply with all the requirements of that act. You must also have a HIV test Each count carries with it a $68 state fee. The file carries with it a $130 Crime Victim Rights Service Fund fee. Court-appointed attorney fees are granted in the amount of $28,600.93. With respect to Mr. O'Keefe's bill, Mr. Chief, I have issues with it. I have significant issues with it because Mr. O'Keefe was not here.
Mr. O'Kelly.
I'm sorry, O'Kelly was not here and was not needed throughout the trial. And much of the billing is encompassing that. And we're going to discuss that at a later time because we're going to set that issue up for hearings regarding his bill. Madam Clerk, set that up probably within the next month on a Monday. And we will address line by line his bill because I am in total disagreement with his $15,000 expert bill. And that way the prosecution can give me any input regarding this bill. But right now I think we've concluded. In determining the sentence for this defendant, the court has considered the disciplinary punishment of the wrongdoer, the protection of society, the potential for rehabilitation of the defendant, the deterring of others from committing like offenses. You have an absolute right to appeal. If you can't afford an attorney, I will appoint one. You have 42 days to make that request. The clerk is handing you a form, which is called a Notice of Rights to Timely Appeal. Did you get that form?
Acknowledge you received the form.
Yes, I have. I'm filling it out right now, Your Honor. I'd like to file it right now while I'm in front of you.
Your Honor, there's restitution requested by Ms. Millsap in the amount of $7,538.42.
And that's absolutely granted as well.
Your Honor, just a brief question. Do you require Mr. Kelly to be here, or do you require me to voice his
Once he gets
concerns?
paid, he's going to come here and tell me exactly why he deserves to be paid $15,000.
As you know, he's out of state. Would an affidavit from him suffice?
If he wants to get paid, he's going to explain to me why he's billing me for time when he was not needed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I will discuss
You're the
separately.
attorney.
Thank you, Your Honor. Appreciate the guidance. You don't file that right now. You just mail it in. Okay? Thank you, Your Honor. You fill that, you send it in.
James, we love you. We'll get you out. We will.